It all started on a Friday in my house. Each Friday means movie night. That's the day of the week we all relax and forget about our worries for that night. We have a giant window behind one of our couches, and our dogs would always look out the window. That Friday, as my dogs were looking out the window, they started to growl a little. I got up from the couch to see if they were growling at. As I looked out the window, next to the tree, I saw a figure. A tall, dark figure. I moved closer to the window to get a better look and was immediately overwhelmed with fear. The figure appeared to be a woman, with long hair that went down to her breasts. She also seemed to be wearing a long gown, covered in what looked like red splatters. I was awestruck. I just stared at her.
What are you staring at, son?
I point out the window and tell him to be quiet. I stared at her even more. After a while, she finally looked up at me, like she knew I was looking at her the whole time. She wasn't normal. She wasn't normal at all. Her face was deformed. She didn't have eyes, just eye sockets with bloodstains under them. Her left cheek looked like it had been cut with a knife. Some of her skin was peeling off, revealing her muscles. Her right cheek was even worse. All you could see of it was the bone and the muscle connected to it. She smiled, revealing her horrifying teeth. Her teeth were enormous spikes that went through holes each time she closed her mouth. At this point, my dogs were barking their lungs out. Then the woman started to slowly walk towards my house. I immediately ran into the room. I slammed my door and I locked it. About 30 seconds later, I heard the window shatter and the dogs shut up. A split second after, I heard 2 loud smashes on her front door. My dad screamed, shortly cut off by the sound of gurgling. I started to tear up. I heard my mom get up and run for my room. I heard banging on my door.
Tanner? Tanner, please open this door!
I stared at my door as 4 spikes went right through it, and blood spilled through the holes. I then heard a thud on the floor. I waited for my demise, but it never came. 10 minutes passed of me sitting on the bed. I soon heard a voice.
Tanner, don't be afraid, my child.
"Who are you?" I gasped. I heard a demonic chuckle outside my door.
Child, I only want to make you mine.
"No!" I yelled.
Then we'll do this an easier way.
A demonic voice came into my mind.
You are going to die in this very room, you brat! You're going to die here, you hear me?
Soon, there were multiple voices. I couldn't take it anymore. I got up, walked over to my door. I put my hand on the doorknob and hesitated. I opened the door. I looked out to see nothing. I sighed in relief and took a step out of my bedroom. Just then, the woman walked out of the bathroom and pushed me against the wall. She pulled back her hand claw and shoved it forcefully into my gut. Blood spewed from my stomach. Staring into my eyes, she said to me,
Such a shame. You have to die this way.
She then pointed 2 sharp fingers at my eyes and jabbed them in my skull. I let out a sharp scream as she laughed maniacally. She pulled her fingers out and disappeared. I fell on the floor and quickly bled out and died.